Es ist ein tiefer Einschnitt auch in der Geschichte des Kontinents.
I wish to go to Germany.
The refugee crisis across Europe. Thousands of refugees are marching through the continent and are receiving a warm welcome and a wave of solidarity. Most of the wave is marching towards Austria. Women, children, older ones. They all dream of a safe life far away from the wars in their countries.
In our region, when anybody wants to talk or anybody wants to express an opinion, they just smash them down. They disappear from Earth.
The tragedy of migration and escape, which starts with the dangerous crossing of the Aegean or the Mediterranean Sea and goes along with tractor trails and the exploitation of the refugees.
So you have to pay the 5 times the price for a taxi,
exactly.
Just you don't have
everywhere, even in the hotel, even if you wanted to buy anything.
The first goal is the European border between Hungary and Serbia.
Some people were forced to stay here for forever. They couldn't just get out of Hungary, and now they are fighting their way out.
Catastrophic conditions in the Hungarian refugee camps. And the joy when the refugees arrive at the Austrian border. My journey begins when the refugees have already passed a large part of their path. Most of the refugees, which are held in the camp near the Serbian border town, Kanisha, are from Syria and Afghanistan. Here, they could recover from their march, but most of them refuse to recover because they fear that there will be no trespassing to the European territory on the Hungarian side. That's why they want to get as fast to the border area as they can.
We want to avoid the Hungary camps.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. We will try to reach to the Hungary camp at the first of this night.
Most of the refugees fear the Hungarian police, so they decide to cross the border when it's dark. At the Hungarian border, the refugees have already had a long march behind them. They are fleeing from the wars in Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq to Turkey. On the Turkish Aegean shore, they try to cross the sea by tractor boats and arrive to the Greek islands. From Greece, they march towards Macedonia and Serbia to the Hungarian EU border. For the whole distance, they don't need much more than 2 weeks. Nur Shira is one of them. The 26-year-old interpreter is speaking Italian, French, and English fluidly. She lived in the Syrian capital Damascus, but the ongoing war forced her to leave.
Life wasn't like this, so it's very different, and it got very different in a very small time, in a very short period. That's the problem for most of us. We lived before and we are living now. We know how it was. We weren't like this before. Syria was a very beautiful country. The basic stuff for living are not there. And most of the kids are not going to schools because of the danger about falling bombs or just, the rockets every day. Normally, averagely, it's about 41 to 56 rockets every day.
56 rockets every day?
Yes, on Damascus only. We're not talking about the suburb. The suburbs are in active war every single minute. In Damascus, it's like, let's just say, it's still better than others.
Yeah.
But even with that, there are no jobs for anybody. It's not safe to go out in the streets every day.
She's been marching already for 14 days. Giving up is no option for her.
I was so spoiled. I lived in a big house. I had almost everything that any girl would want, and I lost it all. But that won't keep me from just sitting back and say, oh no, I lost it. No, I'm gonna go and get it again and get it better. So that's my hopes for this. That's why I'm enduring this journey until it's finished. I know that it's not paradise in Europe, but at least I will have a chance to make something. We're not going there just to be a burden on anybody. We just want to have a life, to have the chance to work, to study, just to be somebody. And we lost that right in our country, and we need to go somewhere that we can achieve that. We're not burden on anybody. We don't want just to get money and sit in front of TVs. No.
But now she has to take a huge step. The EU border between Serbia and Hungary.
Are you afraid?
No. No, I'm never afraid. Like, being afraid is your way of getting back, and I never go back. I'm always forward like this in my whole life. And I think that helps a lot. I got that from my mom.
The refugee camp in the Serbian border town Kanjiša is just a few kilometers from the border gate Horgoš. Cabs are waiting everywhere to get the refugees to the border. A cab drive for the 13-kilometer-long distance would cost in Austria not much more than 18 euros. The Serbian cab drivers take 50 euros for each refugee. Nevertheless, there are not enough cabs for the refugees because the cheaper buses are always overcrowded. We meet this guy. He is a British citizen with Syrian roots. We share a cab and drive to the border. He's looking desperately for his parents.
There are two possible solutions. One of them, and I think that's the most probably, they are stuck in jail in Hungary because in the last month they always call people and keep them there for 5 to 1 week.
Like, that's fine if they keep them somewhere safe. I don't mind. But the problem is
jail.
When you don't know where they are.
Jail.
Here is
safe.
I know, but
yeah,
like, it's still better than Syria, I would say. For him to come to this country, doesn't speak English, nothing. In June, I had to take them to Turkey for holiday, to area called Cheshma. It's very nice, beautiful, they enjoyed the time. While we were there in Turkey, IS get into the city. House been destroyed, all things been, stolen, that the stuff, from the house. Came back to the city, disaster. I went all the way, there is nothing, nothing. I couldn't see anything, the choice is not much. The other way is by train they went. But if they went by train, I'm sure they could have charged, the mobile, something, they contact me. I don't know.
Are you worried that something happened to them?
Well, of course, makes sense, I'm worried.
How long can you look for your parents?
I tell you, I will go to Hungary and last station.
Yeah.
It will be my last thing. Then I will go back.
Just at the border, we get out of the cab. The son looking for his parents is free to pass the border gate with his British passport. We are heading with other refugees towards the rail track between Hungary and Serbia.
Everyone that's going out of Syria during this journey knows every single plan to do. Knows where to go, knows how much to pay, and knows where to sit, where to land. Just everyone do.
How come? Where do you know that stuff?
That's what
there isn't an internet homepage where you could go to, isn't there?
Yes, there is. There's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they tell you? What lies ahead of you? What's the problems?
In Hungary, there are 3 ways to cross the borders of Hungary. Through Horgoš, through the forest, and through some other place. I don't remember what's the name.
We are going along the rail track between Budapest and Belgrade. The rail track goes through the Hungarian border town Roski. In Roski, the Hungarian police puts all the detained refugees in a camp who are caught while trying to cross the border illegally. The situation inside the camp is bad. We aren't allowed to take pictures of the entrance area. In the camp, fully equipped policemen are guarding the detained refugees while the refugees demand to be released. We can talk to a couple of refugees through the fence. They say that they haven't received any food for a couple of days. This refugee is telling us he just got half a water bottle for each of his little children.
No food, no water?
Other refugees are saying that they were beaten by the police.
Do they beat you?
Dozens of buses are waiting around the refugee camp. The refugees get told that they will be transferred, but they don't know the destination.
Do you know where the buses will bring you? Where are the buses going? Don't know?
Hungarian police officers don't want to give an interview, but they say that the refugees are treated well.
How was the ride with the boat from Turkey to Greece? How did it go? How does it work?
Well, we had a lot of children.
Yeah.
And a lot of babies, like few days they're old. I mean, that was scary for them. The mothers sat in the middle of the boat. The men were gathered around the boat. Lucky us, the sea at that point was calm.
She was around 5 hours on a boat in the Aegean Sea, the deadliest part of the route. More than 2,000 refugees drowned there this year, abandoned by the tractors in rubber boats.
We almost had a head down with another boat, but thanks God it didn't happen. Mostly the boat is made of rubber. They let the guys blow it off when they arrive to the shores. The petroleum, it wasn't enough to get us to the island, so we had to push.
The boat part is just the beginning of a long path. The rest of the route is marching on foot. In Thür's group are little children too.
We walked to the Serbian borders. We walked very long. We walked for like 15 kilos. And
15 kilometers with small children in the group,
yes.
5-year-old on the group.
Yes, and we only took a break for like 15 minutes every 3 hours. So it was very tiring. We walked from about 4 a.m. until we arrived to about 11.
While we are reaching the border between Hungary and Serbia, more and more refugees arrive at the Austrian border town Nikolsdorf. Thousands of refugees marching from Budapest and other Hungarian locations to the Austrian border. There, they receive a warm welcome and a wave of solidarity.
Sie haben sich einfach ein paar Freunde zusammengepackt und...
Salzburg und ungefähr 10 Freunde und mit den 3 Busse.
Ja.
Die Wasser und die und so weiter, die Kinder sein.
Okay, Sie sind extra hierher gekommen aus Salzburg, um den Flüchtlingen zu helfen? Was hat Sie dazu gebracht, dass Sie hierher gekommen sind?
Ja, man braucht nur Nachrichten verfolgen. Da kann man eigentlich so nicht aussitzen und fernschauen, sondern man muss immer was machen.
On the Austrian side of the border, the refugees get collected and transported by buses to the near train station of the border town Nikolsdorf. Volunteers are waiting in Nikolsdorf as well and take the refugees' needs: food, shoes, and toys for the kids.
Wir haben jetzt eigentlich nur Kleidung geschlichtet halt und ausgeteilt, bis die Kinder uns gestürmt haben.
The refugees are grateful, but when the Austrian Interior Minister arrives at Nikolsdorf, the tension gets higher. The Hungarian border. Because of the refugee wave, the Hungarian administration built fences along the Serbian border, and it is expensive, around 94 million euros. We want to cross this expensive new security border.
That's another border you have to cross.
Yep.
Do you know when?
After midnight. Not midnight, during the night.
During the night. So it has to be dark.
Yes.
Do you know where you...
It has to be dark because people walk 4x4.
Yeah?
They hide in the trees or the bushes or just crawl there, so the police won't catch them. The Greek border, the Macedonian, the Serbian borders were a lot easier. I mean, the police were standing there and we were just walk.
Okay.
Yeah, but here it's totally different because it's the last stop before you reach your destination.
Yeah.
More and more refugees are passing us, so we decide to follow them directly across the border area.
So actually, we're right in the middle of the fence right now. It's like right on the border.
We're crossing the fence, yummy.
You're so calm. How could you? There's a police watching. You're like, it's like a.
Well, if they wanted to do something, they would have done it for the others. Why doing it for me?
Okay, so let's walk.
As easy as this, we have reached EU territory.
Okay,
No passport check, nothing. While we're crossing, we stay in distance to the expensive fence-secured border. Meanwhile, Hungary announced to secure the rail track too, but the refugees will find other ways. That's for sure. The Interior Minister of Austria arrives at the border town Nickelsdorf to thank the volunteers there, but she receives a lot of protests too.
Jetzt sind ganz viele Tausende Flüchtlinge heute durch Österreich durchgegangen, muss man ja sagen. Ganz wenige haben Asyl beantragt. Freut Sie das?
Das ist die Entscheidung jedes einzelnen Flüchtlings. Aber wir laden jeden ein, hier bei uns einen Asylantrag zu stellen, wenn es gewünscht wird. Aber die meisten wollen nach Deutschland oder Schweden weiterziehen.
Was sagen Sie als politisch Verantwortliche? Wie lang kann man dieses Prozedere aufrechterhalten? Kann das ein paar Tage gehen, ein paar Wochen, ein paar Monate?
Ja, wir wissen zur Stunde nicht, wie viele Flüchtlinge jetzt zu Fuß unterwegs sind oder mit dem Bus unterwegs sind. Wir rechnen damit, dass noch mehr kommen werden. Aber es braucht so rasch als möglich eine europäische Antwort. Es braucht so rasch als möglich die Umsetzung der Anlaufstellen an den Außengrenzen Italiens und Griechenlands, damit wir an diesen Anlaufstellen sofort die Kriegsflüchtlinge schützen können und den Schleppern auch den Nährboden entziehen können und derartige schwierige Reisen den Flüchtlingen auch ersparen.
Das heißt aber, erst wenn es diese Anlaufstellen gibt, werden die Flüchtlingsströme nach Österreich abreißen?
Derartige Anlaufstellen sind ganz entscheidend, um die Flüchtlinge so rasch als möglich schützen zu können. Aber entscheidend ist dann natürlich auch eine Quote, um die Flüchtlinge auch auf die Mitgliedstaaten verteilen zu können.
Jetzt sehen wir ganz viele Österreicher, viele Menschen, die am Westbahnhof sind und den Flüchtlingen helfen, die hier in Nickelsdorf herkommen und den Flüchtlingen helfen. Aber was man von vielen hört, ist, dass sie sagen, wir müssen helfen, weil die Politik das nicht tut. Sehen Sie Verantwortung der Politik, dass man vielleicht zu spät gehandelt hat in Österreich?
Das ist eine Verantwortung von allen, von Politik und Zivilgesellschaft. Ich glaube, wir sind alle gefordert.
Aber hat die Politik versagt in dieser Flüchtlingskrise bisher?
Ich glaube, die Dynamik und die Quantität der Flüchtlinge hat wahrscheinlich alle überrascht.
Thousands of refugees are arriving in Hungary daily. The police forces are beyond their limits. The refugees getting water. There are mobile toilets too, but that's it. The difference to the Austrian border couldn't be bigger. A lot of refugees are doubtful. They don't know if they are already within the EU borders and what will come next. First of all, the Hungarian police doesn't send the refugees back to Serbia. But at the near train station, the refugees will be stopped by their colleagues. The 26-year-old Thür has reached Hungary also, but now she has to take care that she won't get detained by the Hungarian police.
Are you afraid that you will be going to a camp?
Well, I don't like it. If it's gonna be the same, then I won't like it. Because I'm not staying here. Staying in the camp will be a waste of time.
Do you think that it will work out? That you will not get stuck in Hungary?
I'm hoping for the best. Let's just say yes. I'm not gonna stop there. I learned my lesson. I stuck in Serbia. There's no way I get stuck in Hungary too. But if it happens, then it happens. We'll find a way out then. Yeah. We'll find a way to get through it. I'm not gonna worry about it since now. Yeah. I wasn't worried to cross the borders, and here I am. But we heard rumors that they might take our passports or take our identity cards or anything. If they did, then we can't ask for asylum in any country and show them any passports or any identity that proves us. So that's the problem if it happens.
So you want to avoid to show the Hungarian police your passport?
Yes, because if they took it, then you can't get it back. You just can't get it back. You will have to stay here until they give it back to you. And nobody knows when. Some people were forced to stay here for forever. They couldn't just get out of Hungary, and now they are fighting their way out. They can't.
And you just wait on your group here?
Yep. Yeah. I thought about keep moving. It's better than staying here, but I don't know. It's better if someone was with them, especially if something happened or anything. They can't communicate with them.
So you'll stop so they have it a little bit easier?
Yes, of course. I mean, we were together.
You could just go. It would be easier just for you, but you wait.
I wait for them because we were together since the beginning. I'm not going to leave them now. And if I can help them, then why not? Waiting won't hurt me. I mean, if I walk a few miles more, it won't make any difference. When they are here, we'll keep walking and we will help each other on the way.
Fast stündlich kommen immer neue Züge mit Flüchtlingen hier am Wiener Westbahnhof an. Doch die Arbeit beginnt erst jetzt. Noch immer schlafen Flüchtlinge in Dreiskirchen ohne Dach über dem Kopf. Eine europaweite Verteilung der Flüchtlinge ist nicht in Sicht. Und auch der Bürgerkrieg in Syrien, der Grund für all das hier, ist meilenweit von einer friedlichen Lösung entfernt. Doch all das interessiert die Flüchtlinge hier nicht. Sie sind jetzt vor allem mal froh, überhaupt hier zu sein. Bis nächste Woche bei Klartext.